if we hang our hats on this notion of integrity, I really see there being three big wins for the individual. The first one, that you build trust, not just at work, but with your personal relationships as well, because you're projecting and you believe in and you're attempting to assimilate the different parts of your personality to project as one. And therefore, there's this notion of reliability. And I think, it also then, by default, asks questions of what your purpose and values are. And when we honestly, I'll bounce this back to you, Tom, when you are honestly critiquing now your previous role and existence of firing all these 400 plus people, was that really aligned with your purpose and value set? No, because and how did it manifest itself? Because you're feeling stress and anxiety. Absolutely. And this is back to this notion of fear I was talking about. So this notion of trust is a very strong platform. And I think it then moves us towards this more intrinsic mindset of old, the talking to your neighbor over the garden fence. How many people do you see walking around like Tom with the big headphones on, glued to their phone, tripping over things? They're shutting out the world. And actually, I'm fearful for the younger generation because they don't know how to interact with people beyond screens. Anyway, so the notion of trust, I think, is really important. Number two, it's this notion of empowerment. There's a greater awareness of our personal agency, but also our limitations, and we position ourselves accordingly. We're not perfect, but it enables us to deal with challenges, contain stress and fear, and position ourselves accordingly. The last one is this notion of improvement, that we're always striving to ask questions of what we're doing, and this unrelenting commitment to try and do the right thing. This is what integrity means. And that in turn is aligned with our purpose and values, and we're constraining those values with integrity. But I think we get that right as well, and our motivation starts to peak. We notice these spikes. And, I think the overarching question with all of these points I've just been trying to make is then, how do we want to be remembered?